Hi everybody! Cart captioning is a nerd's dream job. If you enjoy learning all the time, cart captioning is a nerd's dream job. You can listen in on interesting lectures in every field of study imaginable, from architecture to health sciences such as nursing, dentistry, med school, and pharmacology, to STEM classes like physics, chemistry, biology, engineering, mathematics, computer science, etc., to cosmetology, interior design, and fine art. You learn that your deaf students are capable of just about every field of endeavor, just like hearing people are, and you gain respect for those that are earning their degrees in all those above fields. In fact, you learn that they have a superpower. They are incredibly patient and frustration tolerant. Good skills when it comes to having grit for succeeding in the work world. If you are enjoying my video, like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. As a kid in elementary school, I remember not understanding why we went to school. I thought it was so that we could have fun, because learning was more fun for me than going to Disneyland. I loved solving those reasoning puzzles they gave us in 6th grade, where you had clues to use that eliminated certain possibilities until only one was left. I did not realize until college and many years into adulthood that everybody has different skills and abilities and was not the same as me. The first time I had an inkling of this was in college, when I raved about how great my college was to another prospective student who chose my school because I had told her how good it was. So I was surprised when she got to school the next year as a freshman and was upset that there were no big malls and movie theaters in town. I thought to myself, you go to university for malls and theaters? I was telling you about how good of a university it was because of the libraries, 5 of them, and the professors' lectures that are so interesting. But I digress. Cart captioning is a nerd's dream job. For every different field of study, you'll develop a glossary of words that are specific to that field. It's amazing because even after 15 years of cart captioning, there are still words that come up that I need to put in my dictionary. Not every day, but once in a blue moon, there are still words that I have never entered into my dictionary that are specific to some field out there. It's a mind-expanding job. You become aware of how vast the universe of words is. When some people hear that my job involves listening in on university classes, webinars, business meetings, government meetings, city council meetings, and political campaigns, they sometimes tell me, you have the equivalent of a PhD. However, after thinking about what they've said so many times, I've come to realize that actually, no, I have the inverse of a PhD. You see, a PhD has extremely deep knowledge about one subject and has done really difficult research into one topic within that subject matter. They have to do all the homework, all the study, all the research. Their PhD is narrow and deep. They have a real understanding of what is going on in one field. A cart captioner is the exact opposite. We are wide and shallow in our knowledge about the world of academics. And we often write on our stenography machines to material that is out of order from the way a student would take a class, meaning we don't have all the prerequisites in place to be able to understand the STEM subjects that we are writing for. So while we may be able to understand snippets of a lecture and be like, wow, that's interesting, often there are big blocks of content that we just write without understanding a thing about X and Y formula. I've heard court reporters say the same thing about what they do. If they're taking down the record for an expert witness talking about some specialized topic, they may also just be taking down words without understanding what's going on. As a CART captioner, you find yourself hoping that the student understood what you wrote in real time because you sure didn't. You know how you can sometimes be in a place where other people are speaking in a different language and you don't know what they're saying? That feeling of being left out? In stenography, you're often in a situation where you understand every distinct word, but you don't understand the sum total of what they mean put together. And whereas, if you're in the presence of people speaking a language you don't understand, you can just tune them out. As a stenographer, you have to pay attention to stuff you don't understand, concentrate on getting every distinct word down, which is a strange thing to do when you don't understand the content, but have to sustain mental concentration and pay such close attention to it. And then, when you have taken down the lecture or the record for a long proceeding like that, where you don't know what you just heard, your brain can get pretty tired. Even when we understand all the stuff we hear, sometimes the brain can get very tired and just hit delete on all the information overload. This gets to be tricky in personal life because I sometimes hit delete on stuff my friends tell me that I shouldn't be forgetting because my brain is so overloaded with information all the time. On the other hand, I also don't remember any gossip they tell me, so that's good. You would think that after 20 plus years of listening to college lectures, I'd have gotten a grip on every instance of word usage out there and have a great vocabulary and never make mistakes. But that is wrong. Recently, I was talking to my elementary school friend who calls me every Sunday to chat for an hour, and she did not understand me when I said that my other friend wanted cosmetic jewelry for her daughter's birthday. When I described to her that the jewelry was not real gold, she said, "Oh, you mean costume jewelry?" Yeah, somehow when people say costume jewelry, I understand it. But when I reach to grab for the word, I'll say cosmetic jewelry. And I felt so pleased that after 20 plus years of listening to college lectures, there was still a thing I had to tweak about English language usage that my elementary school friend pointed out. She was an English major in college and read a lot of books and is a tech writer now. It's great to have a friend from so long ago, and I felt zero embarrassment at having made the mistake in front of her because of our long and warm friendship. I just felt pleased to fix something I'd been saying wrongly for a long time. So if this sounds like something you'd like to do, learning words every day, concentrating on words even though you don't know their meaning, put together, maybe being a cart captioner or court reporter is the thing for you. Okay, so it's interesting. If you like learning and you like information and you just like being a fly on the wall, hiding away in your house, learning about all kinds of different things, this is the job for you.